Did it start?
Looks like it.
Okay. It'll find the horse.
Yep. Well, there it goes. Yeah.
Even though he's like super duper close, it's like, oh, tracking. Okay. Awesome. So I will just show you like a normal warm up for Tucci, and then which does include like a lot of lateral work. Usually I do a lot of walking. Sometimes I just walk him around the property for 10 minutes and then come back. And he gets a treat when I get on. So I've worked with a lot of horses, and like horses that are, come to me for training, a lot of times there's two big issues that I've come across that are easily solved with giving a treat at the right time: bridling and mounting. So he's just standing here waiting for his treat. I don't know if these are my stirrup length, actually. Well, yeah, a little short. Who rode in this saddle last? Oh. It actually feels better out here than it does in the barn.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Tucci, hold still. You see how I'm doing this? Adjusting my stirrups? Can you guys both do it?
Really putting your leg up high.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, put your leg out of the way and hold it out.
Okay, there we go. All right, walk on. So the very first thing I do is I get the horse walking forward. So I do that within seconds of getting on. Meaning that I get him in front of my leg. There's a big rock right here. Would somebody come get it? My stirrups are still not right. Thank you. I don't want him to trip on it. So see, I get him walking forward without a lot of contact first. And I'll let him walk around both directions before I really start to ask for too much. And then while he's walking, I'm going to do my out and back. So just like I have you guys do. So I'm getting my thigh and knee off the horse and trying to bring my thigh more under my hip. I let him stop and poop. He's spoiled. You don't get a treat for pooping. You guys can sit down if you want. I mean, there's a chair and a mounting block. So you'll see Tucci poops a lot when I ride him, which is a good thing, because horse has to pick up their back in order to poop. So it's telling me that he's using his back the way I want him to. And then plus I've noticed his stall stays a little cleaner. So when I'm doing this work, I'm mostly like guiding him from my seat and my legs. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little contact, and I'm just going to start to ask him to stretch down a little bit. He does cough. This is part of why this is beneficial to him, because he does have allergies. So this kind of helps him get it out of his lungs. He's very spoiled. I just let him stop whenever he wants. We've been together a long time, so he kind of knows when I mean business, it's time to work. Like we're just, he's kind of preparing himself for the ride. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, I better get a poop out. Oh, I better itch my face. Yep, I better get a cough out. So you see when I pick up the reins, what I'm doing is I'm actually starting to shape the posture of the horse. Then the first thing we always want is to check. If I give my hand, will the horse stretch down? So he's a little bit rude about it. We worked a lot on that. He was a Western horse when I started with him, and he was trained to never touch the bit, because they ride in big curb bits, and they don't really want the horse on contact the way that we do. So it took me like 2 years just to get him to stretch down, because what he would do was I would get him to stretch down, and then he would contact the bit. And then he would get scared. He would throw his head up and go, oh my God, I'm going to get in trouble. So it took a long time to reprogram that. And I think a little bit of that never really went away. All right. I'm going to do a movement here. And I want to see if you guys can tell me what it is. Did you see it? You didn't see it? I'll do it again. All right, so I turn up the quarter line. And now he's going back to the rail, but he's kind of crossing his legs. So his body is parallel to the long side. So do you know what that movement is called? I'm going to do it one more time. I usually do it 3 times each direction. So I'll give you a clue. So he's yielding away from my inside leg. So my primary aid's my inside leg, asking him to move over. So that's a leg yield. Leg yield. All right, so now I'm going to switch direction. I'm going to do my leg yield going the other way and see if I can make them even. See if I can make them equally as good. Yep. So that's the first of the lateral movements. So we use those lateral movements to help improve our horse from side to side. Right? Like I want his inside hind leg to step more towards the midline of the horse. So I'm asking him to go over, over, over. And you see I have to slow him down.
My next question is,
Yeah, if I'm just using my inside leg, he's just going to go faster, right? So my outside rein says, no, don't go faster. And my inside rein just keeps him flexed a little bit to the inside. So you almost want to think that that little flexion towards the inside is sort of drawing his attention to my inside leg. It's like, pay attention over here. And I tap him a lot because I want him to move his hind leg, move his butt, move his butt, move his butt, move his butt. There you go. Good. Okay, now I'm going to do another movement, and I want to see if you guys can recognize or tell me what this is. Have you ever seen this before? Linda? Okay, this is a shoulder in. Yep, so you see how if we're talking about the track, I'll come a little closer. I'll start again in that corner. How about that? So, yeah, exactly. So I want you to think about, if the horse is going straight, he's on 2 tracks. Right? His inside hind leg is stepping into the track of the inside front leg, and the outside hind leg is stepping into the track of the outside front leg. When we're doing a shoulder in, now we're on 3 tracks. So his outside hind leg is on the rail. His inside hind leg is now stepping into the track of the outside front leg, and the inside front leg is on its own track. So it's a 3-track movement. Okay? So in a shoulder in, your horse has bend to the inside. He again yielding away from that inside leg. So I like to say your leg yield is sort of like a precursor to your shoulder in, because he's got to understand yielding away from the inside leg. But now in the shoulder in, he's also yielding his shoulders away from the outside rein. I'm not just pulling him in from the inside rein. The inside rein does serve a supporting role, but your activates for your shoulder in are inside leg, outside rein. So this is the first of the collecting exercises. So we're talking about progression here, right? So a leg yield is a lateral movement, but it doesn't have a lot of collection. Collection meaning that the horse has to take more weight on the hind end. A lateral leg yield is a suppling movement. We're kind of unlocking our horse's body side to side. We're getting him to move his hind legs separately from each other. In the shoulder in, now he's really having to take more weight on that inside hind leg. Okay, so I'm going to finish my warm-up. I'm going to do a couple each direction, and then I'll show you the next movement. So ask any questions as they come up. Good boy. So I like to start in the corner, or you can use like a 10-meter circle to set up for your shoulder in. So your horse's shoulders mirror your shoulders. So I'm going to turn my shoulders in. And now I'm asking with my inside leg, inside leg, inside leg. I'm going to check from time to time by releasing my inside rein to make sure I'm not just pulling him to the inside. He really should be maintaining this angle from my inside leg and my outside rein. Good. Good. So inside leg forward, outside leg back. Inside leg active. Shoulders are turning. Outside leg is back in case he were to want to pop out this way. You know, he's yielding away from my inside leg, so he might try to escape this direction. So there I did a half circle and reverse. I don't know if you saw that. But I did a half a 10-meter circle, and then I changed direction by going to the middle of the short side. So that's a, you know, approachable movement for you guys to do. Oop, he's ready to go. All right. That tells me I got him on my 8s. Because he tends to be a little bit sluggish, believe it or not. Yeah, he's feeling ready to go. All right, so now I'm going to make a shoulder in this direction, and I want to make sure I'm riding it the same, but I'm also getting the same amount of angle, the same amount of bend from my horse. Good. 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 he's like most horses, he likes to sort of pop out through that right rein. So I'm doing a lot of sponging on my outside rein to kind of keep his body from over bending in the base of the neck. And then I don't get as much angle in the shoulder in. Good boy. Up, up, up. Okay, on the next long side, I'm going to start on the next movement, and I want you to tell me what you think it's called. What is this called? Yeah, he's yielding away from my outside leg. This is a haunches in. So in a haunches in, the horse's shoulders should be going straight down the rail. And then, yep, bending to the inside. And he's moving the haunches away from my outside leg. So this is the first of the lateral movements where he's bent in the direction he's going, right? So in the shoulder in, he was bent away. He's moving away from my inside leg, which is the bending leg. Now he's moving away from my outside leg, and he's still bending around my inside leg. So this can be either a 3-track or a 4-track movement. And all of these movements we can do in the walk, trot, and canter. All right, so just for the sake of time, I'm going to introduce the next movement. Tell me what you think this is called.
Side on a diagonal. Side leg on a diagonal.
You're on the right track. So this is
Diagonal forehand.
these are great guesses. They're not right. That's a half pass. So it's similar to a leg yield, right? Except in a leg yield, the horse is straight and he's looking a little bit towards the leg I'm yielding him from. In the half pass, he's bent again in the direction he's moving, and he's moving away from my outside leg. So you ride it very similar to a haunches in. You can, some people even say, and I've teach it this way, is like you want to imagine you're riding a haunches in on a diagonal line. So that's where you were kind of on the right track. So let me warm that up going the other direction, and then we'll start to trot. Is this helpful? Okay, so what's this? Yep, correct. So that's a good exercise because it helps to supple your horse behind the saddle. You know, like it really helps me to bend the horse over his whole body, right? We always talk about that. We want that horse's spine bent according to the line that we're on. But what sort of happens is, you know, the neck is easy to bend, and then under the saddle it's harder to bend. Back here it's even harder. So, you know, as the horse develops, he should become more and more supple. Oh, I'm going to give him the reins while he coughs. And the first thing I want to do is make sure, can I lower his head so I can get his back up? So what's this? Yeah, but what movement? There it is again. Leg yield. But here I'm leg yielding from my outside leg. So I just changed the flexion a little bit. So I try to do everything both directions equally. purpose. What's that called? Let's canter. Okay. Good boy. So to answer your question, it's mostly the inside leg that keeps the canter. Outside leg is back. But, you know, I have this feeling of sort of, it's like 1, 2, 3 when he jumps off the ground. I kind of pick myself up a little bit and I close both legs to kind of jump him up under my seat. 1, 2, 3, pick him up. 1, 2, 3, pick him up. Hold from here. Because you don't want him just going forward. You want a higher jump. See how my outside leg is back? I'll circle in front of you. And then my inside leg is going jump, 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 jump. As he's jumping off the ground. Jump, jump, jump. Your outside leg back to keep the position helps you in your counter canter. Okay, watch this. What's that? What movement is that? I'll do one the other way. That's a flying change. Good boy. You see how he jumps from one canter lead to the other? So, if I'm cantering to the left, I have him on the left lead. He's bent left, or he's at least a little bit flexed left. And then I start to straighten him. I do a little leg yield off my outside leg. He's feeling me moving. I do a little leg yield off my outside leg, change the bend, and then I switch my legs. And that's what tells him I want him to change lead. He's done up to 1 piece, where that's a Grand Prix movement where they do a flying change every stride.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah,
That would be so cool to see.
yeah. I don't think today's the day. It's a little too hot for him.
It's hot. It is hot.
And I think we're going to end on that because I don't want to wear him out.
Yeah. It's
I, yeah.
You're in the sun. We're sitting in the shade.
Yeah, and we still have 2 more horses to go. So you'll be surprised when you see Noni. Noni can do all this stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
yeah. He's a little farther along, but you know, summer's really hard on him, so I try not to. I only play with the more higher level stuff on days where I feel like it's cool and everything's coming together, and yeah, so yeah. Good boy, Tooch. So let's take him back, and maybe somebody wants to grab the Pivo, and then we'll cool him down and get Noni.
I kept going the whole time.
Good.
Do I just stop it?
Yeah.